for some revenge here. Nice little match-up with Georgia and Japan. Both countries trying to work out how best to combat the other, because they meet on such a regular basis.
It's always clash of styles.
You've got the current Olympic champion in the weight from Japan, but the current world champion from Georgia.
Shavdatoashvili.
So I wonder if they're watching at home, the Georgians, if they are. Gauma Jurba. We shall see how this one turns out. First minute out of the way. Both athletes just nice and careful in feeling each other out.
I'm waiting for a soda, man. Like, oh, the strong,
almost.
Yeah, but also really nice turned out of this situation from Tanaka.
Yes, he was definitely going over at that point, and then managed to turn onto his front.
Yeah, rolls over on his head.
Picks up a penalty for passivity. Uchigari effort right in that far right corner. Terashvili just stepping off that. Looks nice and calm at the moment. Hasn't yet come under any threat from Tanaka, but Tanaka, with that one-sided effort that we saw successful earlier on, doesn't quite come off on this occasion. Single Shido against Tanaka. That's the only mark on the scoreboard at the moment, which now reads less than half the contest to come. Thought about the Makikomi. Goes for the Sumigaeshi again. Another bump of the head.
The way Terashvili is having his grips on this side, I have the feeling that Tanaka has no repertoire for it.
For that,
for his
setup.
throws.
Yeah.
On the other side I saw Sode, but he's still not figured out what he can do against this strong, dominant Georgian grip.
Giorgi Terashvili, super prospect for Georgia in this weight. They're looking to fill the gap that Lasha Shavdatoashvili will leave shortly.
Well, you never know. If I look at Shavdatoashvili and the way he trains and the way he looks, maybe he continues until he's 50. Yeah, sometimes I hear from the Georgians that he's like a real training animal.
Well, he's going to have some stiff competition now. It's not a bad effort either. Tanaka looking to take advantage of anything that he can. Chance for a turnover on the ground. Be careful here. No, missed it now. Terashvili up to not only defending against the attempted turnover, but he's also trying to free his leg Tanaka had that well and truly trapped, and the referee called Mate. A little over a minute left to go. And now Tanaka picks up a second penalty. Something else for the Japanese to think about. Well, he's got some acrobatic skills, hasn't he, Tanaka?
Yeah, but he has no plan, he has no technique. If the Georgian has his grip, he's in big trouble. He just doesn't know what to do with it.
Not the strongest Makikomi effort that we've seen from Terashvili, but he manages to put in another attack. He's keeping up a good tempo here. Looks to go left-sided. Not in control of that. Really has looked comfortable, Dennis. What was it that he didn't like there? Oh, nothing. See, that's the problem for Tanaka. He's straight into the attack, isn't he? No time for the Japanese to settle and try and get a grip.
This was like almost a score, you know. Of course, there was a bit of time, but yeah, he just rolled over on his side. Look.
Yeah, two movements. That's the second movement, the push.
Yep. But
there's one, and at that point, when he gets both feet on his knees, it's a second movement. The first one's finished.
Yeah.
You
know, it was the push, of course, but just to say that every time Terashvili is really close with this left Uchimata and with this grab, and Tanaka doesn't know what to do with it.
At a loss. He's on the edge here, Tanaka, of picking up a third penalty. I'd like to see this end with a score, but if he's not careful, he's going to get the timing wrong, the tempo of the contest, and pick up a third. Here's a chance.
This is quite good.
That's his best effort yet.
Yeah.
Remember, we saw him execute one with one arm earlier on. He had a bash at that early on in the contest, didn't come off. Terashvili has been going for 4.5 minutes. I wonder if that is the limit of his staying power. Takes a deep breath and gets ready for the next cycle. We've had half a minute of golden scores. 2 penalties against Tanaka. Terashvili is penalty free. Uchigari, he almost goes over. Well, that was as close as anyone has come to scoring. Tanaka beginning to step it up now. Terashvili's going to have to put him away here, because Tanaka looks as though he's weathered the storm. And he's the one who's coming up with attacks. Yep, picks up a penalty for passivity. Got to get this done now. Tanaka, like a Shark in the water, beginning to smell a bit of blood.
Yeah, like after a few minutes that he was like, I don't know what to do. Now slightly, yeah, but you know what I don't understand? Like, Terashvili had a completely well executed plan. Yeah, it worked, and now he's changing sometimes to right. Yeah, well, hold him. Hold him.
Yeah, he's got to be. Unfortunately, he's got to be on top.
No.
Well,
it was possible. Now the trouble is there.
He's
No,
gone now.
Yeah.
He's gone now. It's not going to happen.
No.
Yep, Tanaka. He smelt that blood, just a sniff, and then he was in.
Yes, well, you cannot say that Terashvili did not have enough chances to win this final, and it was like who had the longest breath, and that definitely was Tanaka.
You just began to see signs of the tide turning and going against Terashvili slowly, and then bit by bit got the feeling, hang on a minute, he hasn't put him away yet. Got to finish this off, and unfortunately for Terashvili he couldn't. It was Tanaka Ryuga